Everybody is talking about this junior middleweight matchup between Xander Zayas versus Jaron Boots Ennis this Saturday in the Barclays Center. And I ain't even going to procrastinate my breakdown, my prediction. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaron Boots Ennis doesn't even need to tie his bootstraps to beat Xander Zayas. No disrespect to Xander Zayas. No disrespect. He's young, hungry, does everything good. But he doesn't have the it factor. He doesn't have the it factor and doesn't have the wrinkles, in my opinion, and what I've seen. Because remember, we got to predict on what we've seen. We gotta predict on the intangibles of both fighters. And I don't believe that Xander Zayas has the wrinkles to adjust or the layers to adjust to a Jaron Boots Ennis. And there's going to be people out there that are going to be, yo, but Jaron Boots Ennis hasn't beaten this one or this one. He hasn't beaten an elite fighter and things of that nature. Maybe he is just the elite fighter. Sometimes you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the years. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But Jaron Boots Ennis does everything great in that ring. That what we've seen. He's powerful in both hands and both stands. He brings to the table something that Xander Zayas cannot prepare for, in my opinion. His experience. Let's not forget that he just came out of a training camp with a Canelo Alvarez. Hernandez. He's also sparring two-time champion in two-division world champion in Demetrius Andre. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is he has elite sparring in preparation to a Xander Zayas. I always say in the sport of boxing and on my channel, you're familiar with the channel, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. I always say that between 27 years old, 27 and 32, that's when your intellect and physical ability is coexisting at the highest level, and damn it, Jaron Boots Ennis is in his prime. Maybe Xander Zayas could get there. Maybe he could add some layers to his game. Maybe he could add some wrinkles to his game the more years go by, the most experience go by. He is 23 years old. He's not in his prime. So give the benefit of the doubt that we may not see a complete fighter at that age. But Jaron Boots Ennis is complete. And if you got an eye for the sport of boxing, if you got an eye for talent, you understand that Jaron Boots Ennis got all the goods, all the wrinkles, all the intangibles, all the layers to compete versus whoever and adjust versus whoever. Xander Zayas has a good jab, but Xander Zayas does lead with his strong hand. He's a lefty fighting in an orthodox stance, meaning he's going to overload his left hand, in which he usually does. Xander Zayas starts with a jab, a good jab and stuff like that, follow up with a left hook or a left hook to the body and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He does have a good over right. He does have a good sneaky right uppercut, but he is not the fastest, nor he is the most powerful. Xander Zayas does everything good, but he doesn't have the it factor, in my opinion. Sometimes, hey, put it this way, physically, he doesn't have the it factor. Maybe the it factor is cojones, heart. I don't believe that Jaron Boots Ennis is going to stop. I'm not going to predict that Jaron Boots Ennis is going to stop Xander Zayas, but I think that he could make it easy. I think he can make it easy, especially if he just takes away and neutralize the lead hand. And I believe that Jaron Boots Ennis has the skills and talent. Look, the defense, I believe that Jaron Boots Ennis is going to get hit, and I believe that Xander Zayas is going to get hit. So I think their defense is like a tie. I seen Jaron Boots Ennis put people out in the southpaw stance and the orthodox stance. Like I said, he got dynamites on both hands and both stands. I think he can do whatever he want to do in that ring. I do think that Xander Zayas got some footwork. One of the things that I don't see that too much of Xander Zayas doing, that I think that he should do, and because of his age, we may see a whole nother level of Xander Zayas. We don't know, but I can't predict that because I gotta only predict something that I've seen. Xander Zayas feints has to be primary. I think he need to work his feints. Keep Jaron Boots Ennis out of rhythm. Once Jaron Boots Ennis is in rhythm, then just call it a day. Call it a day. He's gonna beat you. So I think that he need to substitute a little bit of the jab, the great jab that he does have, substituted with feints and footwork. Make him think. Make him second guess himself. Making him comfortable. Make him not wanna showboat. You know what I'm saying? Cause let me tell you like this. Jaron Boots Ennis fight off rhythm and adrenaline at the same time. A lot of people are going to be supporting Jaron Boots Ennis. You already know that because he's in the Barclays Center. A lot of Philly people is going to go to the fight. A lot of people do support Xander Zayas, but let me tell you like this. I've noticed something. Look, I'm from New York City. Puerto Ricans, historically, on this side of the pond, on this side of the fence, in America, is really the boxing community. Really, Puerto Ricans have the Puerto Rican people in the East Coast really holds it down in the boxing community. But let me tell you like this, a lot of Puerto Rican people ain't talking about, I'm talking about New Yorkers, Philly Ricans. A lot of people ain't talking about Xander's eyes like that. And I think because I don't think that many people think that he could beat Jaron Boots Ennis. If it was another opponent, yes, he packed the house out there in Puerto Rico. But let me tell you like this, I haven't talked, a lot of boxing people, Puerto Rican people, they don't believe, they just don't talk about Xander's eyes. They don't even talk about Xander's eyes the way they was talking about Edgar Berlanga after the Canelo Alvarez fight. After the Canelo Alvarez fight, more Puerto Ricans was talking about Xander Zayas. As a matter of fact, I've heard more Puerto Ricans support Subriel Matias, and I think that the reason why a lot of people was on Subriel Matias, even though that I felt like even Xander Zayas is way better than Subriel Matias, but Subriel Matias had the it factor in terms of power. Could Xander Zayas this Saturday showcase his developed power? I'm gonna say like this: if you're not a real knockout artist by his age, I don't know. You just can't turn into a knockout artist. A knockout artist comes young, in my opinion. I just don't think in matching up Xander's eyes with Boots, and also let's not forget that even Top Rank really didn't want this fight for Xander Zayas. And with Top Rank, you already know Top Rank has the best matchmakers historically. They didn't want this matchup for Xander Zayas, and that's what it is. Xander Zayas is really going out there showing his cojones, his testicular fortitude. I do think that Xander Zayas won this fight more than Jaron Boots Ennis won this fight. You cannot gauge and you cannot measure the heart of Xander Zayas. I do believe that he got a lot of heart. I do believe, like I said, that he wanted this more than Jaron Boots Ennis. But is that going to be enough? Jaron Boots Ennis is no slouch. Jaron Boots Ennis is also, he works on corners. He trains people at the same time. He's a gym rat. He's not these guys that go out there and drink and have a party and go to the club all day. No. He's a wholesome type of individual. He's not a knucklehead. He's a student of the game. He's always in training. So, I think the wrinkles that Jaron Boots Ennis does have is going to be too tough for Xander Zayas to keep up. Could he do something like a Karen Chimichurri did in the first fight of the Jaron Boots Ennis fight? Could he do something like that? Yes. Could he hurt Jaron Boots Ennis? Look, I believe that you get caught with a good shot, anybody could get hurt, right? But I think that Jaron Boots Ennis is highly prepared. He's in his prime. I think he's more athletic. I think he got more pop. I think more experience. I think he's more polished. And I think that he has also unpredictable skills. See, right there what? Prime, sharp, unpredictability. Sometimes fighters win with unpredictable. You just couldn't. He's going to give you the type of looks that you couldn't prepare for. Unorthodox combinations. It's just too much. And if Jaron Boots Ennis is going to showcase all his repertoire, I think it's going to be tough for him to catch up. Rely on the feints, rely on your footwork, rely on your jab. I think that Xander Zayas should lead with the hook. In my opinion, we had some great fighters in the past that lead with the hook and stuff like that. Like Pretty Boy Floyd was leading with the hook in some of his fights. Roy Jones Jr. leading with the hook, even though that they had a good jab, good educated jab. But some of the, they'll have some great feints. So and I think that Xander Zayas should give him the first look of feints. You know, it's almost look at for example Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Bud Crawford at the time, pound for pound, 1, 2, 3, you can flip it around. You know what I'm saying? Can match up. You can match him up with any skills and he'll neutralize it. But look at the Madrimon fight. The feints, the footwork, the feints. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just throw the jab all day and let yourself be timed. Remember, it's a 12-round bout. So have a game plan for a 12-round bout. You know what I'm saying? I think that Xander Zayas has to be a little bit unpredictable on his attack, and I think that with feints and leading with the hook, and then you know what I'm saying, work your way up and changing your style. You got to dictate the adjustments. That's what Xander Zayas is gonna have to do. Dictate the adjustments. But I'm gonna tell you like this: have you seen? Has Jaron Boots Ennis not seen anything that Xander Zayas have to bring to the table? Like, I think he's seen. I think Jaron Boots Ennis has seen, whether in the fights or even in the gym, I think he's seen a Xander Zayas style. I don't know if I can say the same thing for Xander Zayas and vice versa. Let me know what y'all think, man. I got Jaron Boots Ennis winning this fight. I think it's not going to be a TKO or a knockout. In my opinion, I believe that Xander Zayas is really, really tough and got a lot of pride. I do believe that he got a chin. I believe both guys got a chin. As much as a lot of people like to talk that Jaron Boots Ennis guy gets hit, but also people don't talk about that he does have a chin. Both of these guys have chin. Both of these guys have grit. Is Jaron Boots Ennis good off the back foot? If he stays in the rope, I think he don't have to stay on the rope with Xander Zayas. But Xander Zayas have to be impeccable with his footwork and his feint and lead with the hook, make him guess, dictate the adjustments, dictate the pace of the fight, and you're probably gonna, you know what I'm saying, it's four criterias, right? Clean, effective punches, ring generalship, who controls the 3-minute intervals of each round, effective aggression and defense. I believe that Jaron Boots Ennis is gonna win the effective aggression. I believe that Jaron Boots Ennis is gonna win the clean, effective punches. The ring general, I think Xander Zayas could dictate the pace of the fight if he really wants to, like I was explaining. And the defense, you know what I'm saying, I think it's a tie. The defense is a tie. So if you could win for the most rounds, at least two to three, you know, of the judging criteria, I just think that clean, effective punches and effective aggression, Jaron Boots Ennis is gonna win. So I just can't see Xander Zayas beating Jaron Boots Ennis. Let me know what y'all think. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Love you. God bless, and on to the next.